morning guys, it's 10 to 7 a.m. now. I'm driving to the Scottish Highlands, doing a road trip over the next 5 days, where I'm going to drive along the western coast of Scotland and drive all the way to Durness and then head south to spend a few days in the Isle of Skye. Essentially this is because I've successfully turned 30 overnight, so it's just a bit of a treat. I'll record some snippets of my road trip. I'll try to compile them all in one video. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But I would really appreciate if you guys could hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. And we are entering Scotland now. Welcome to Scotland. To a cafe in a town called Loch I think. I'll have some breakfast there and then keep going to the next destination. So I left the cafe and the food and the coffee were both really nice. Driving now to Loch Ness, which is the next destination. Look at that. Oh gosh, look at this. Driving now along Loch Laggan. I'll try to find a parking spot to have an overview of the lake. So far there's none. I mean, there are lots of parking spaces along the way, but you can't get a nice view of the lake. Hopefully I can find one on the way. So this is Loch Laggan, and I don't know if you can see, but there at the bottom you can see the dam. So we're driving along Loch Laggan, which is the lake that is going to be before Loch Ness. So this route is basically full of small lakes before the biggest one, which is Loch Ness. So this is Loch Ness, which is the largest lake in the UK. By the way, this lake never freezes, ever, because of how deep it is. Very nice. had to make a stop here at Victoria Waterfall, which is on my way to my final destination for today, which is Gairloch. So I have finally arrived to Gairloch. A bit misty and cloudy, but it's very nice. So I've made it to 30. Whoa! So I'm in Gairloch still, but look at how nice and peaceful this is, and how the clouds are blending into the mountains and trees. Very nice. Day 2. I've already taken some videos of Gairloch earlier on, but now I'm starting to drive to Loch Torridon to spend some time there before my next destination. Final destination for today will be driving up north to Durness and staying there overnight, and tomorrow I'll drive south to Isle of Skye to spend the last few days before heading back to Newcastle. Look at that, so nice. Oh. Look at how nice this is. This is on the way to Loch Torridon. Very nice. So this is Loch Torridon, and look at how the sky is absolutely blending in with the lake. You can't even tell whether it's the sky or the lake. Incredible. So I'm nearly at the Loch Torridon viewpoint now. Let's see what the view is like there. So this is another viewpoint for Loch Torridon. It's a bit higher up, hence all the clouds, and you can't see anything from the lake, but still looks very beautiful. I actually feel quite lucky because the weather has been clear today, all day, I mean almost all day, which is very uncommon for Scotland. So this is a very nice weather actually, especially in October. So I arrived to Ullapool and I'm going to have some seafood now. So just driving in Ullapool now to a seafood restaurant to have some lunch. It's pretty nice and sunny, so I might have a walk around here before I head to Durness. Because last time I came here 2 years ago it was cloudy, raining, it was not very pleasant. And that is the restaurant. It's called Seafront. Look at this nice McLaren. Wow. No, I was wrong. So it's called Sea Shack, and it's a bit of a drive down here. Yep. And this is a seaside view. And this is a seaside view of Ullapool. And by the way, the food was excellent. It was really nice. I'm on my way now to Durness, which is the final destination for today. So I'm walking now to this house, and then I'll go to the castle that's over there. So the story of this house, so essentially it's on the way from Ullapool to Durness, and the story of this house is called I think House of Calder. So it was built in 1726 by the MacLeod of Assynt, and although these people were heavily in debt, they built this house, and they were like leading in this area of the Highland, but the locals were not happy about them because they were in huge debts, and despite that they built this house. I mean, the only thing that's left now is just the ruins of it, and that's because the locals were very angry at these people, so they burnt it down in 1737. So this is the leftover basically, and they also owned that castle there, and the locals burnt it too. And this was like marking the end of that family. And this is the view of the Calder house, Loch Assynt, based on the name of the clan that owned this house and that castle there. And this is the house from the inside. Next we're going to the castle, and this is what's left from the Ardvert castle. To get there, there's no way apart from crossing that patch of water, which some people are doing, but I'm not going to. So just before the Ness, there is this nice cliff that I found, and I'll show you the views now. So just on the way to Durness, I found that sort of cliff on the way, and I'm going to make a stop there for a bit. So as you can see here, it's a bit of a hike. We'll keep going. So made it to the top. There's a bit of a walk just to see the coast a bit more up close. So I'll keep going. So I finally made it. Some sections were quite steep, but the good thing it's a short hike, not so bad. It's very quiet here, literally no one else. Very peaceful. There's a bit more to hike here, but it was quite steep and the grass is wet, and I'm not wearing my hiking boots, so I kept sliding, so I couldn't do it. I'll fly the drone here. I'll see if the wind is allowing the drone to fly. So I'm continuing to drive to Durness. Only 20 minutes left to get there. Sadly I couldn't take any videos with the drone at that cliff because I took the wrong SD card that has no space. And yeah, it was a very long hike to get back to the car, to get the right one, and then come back. Yeah, sadly. So we are entering Durness now. There's the beach here, going to in a moment, and there is also a cave that I might go to, but the weather is not very nice today, and I think it will remain like this for the entire day, but it's okay. We've had a nice sunny day yesterday. Now see it. It's very, very pretty. Look at that view, very pretty. Look at these views. Very nice. Yes, the weather is not sunny, but still it's really, really nice. And quiet as well. I've got 5 hours to get to Isle of Skye, and I should be there by 5:30 PM roughly. So I'll check in to the hostel I've booked, and then I'll see if there's some sunlight. I'll go out for a bit. This is the Airbnb, and this is my view. Very nice. So it's 7:30 AM now, and I'm heading to the lighthouse, which is about an hour drive from the Airbnb. I mean, it's a Airbnb slash hostel, but it's actually quite nice. So it's 7:40 AM now, and I'm heading to the lighthouse. It's about an hour and 10 minutes drive from the hostel that I've stayed at, which is called Cowshed Hostel, and it's really, really nice. I don't normally do hostels, but I was amazed by the reviews that it had, and it's actually really, really nice. So I'll get there to the lighthouse, and then I have a hike to do. Oh yes, the lighthouse basically oversights the North Atlantic Ocean, so it has nice cliffs and coastal views. So hopefully the wind is not too bad, and I can record some videos on my drone. After that, I have another place that I need to go to for a hike, and I'll try to cram as much as I can in today's itinerary, because tomorrow I'd be needing to leave early in the morning back to Newcastle, and it's about an 8 hours drive, so I don't think I'd be able to do much tomorrow, so I'll have to do it today. It's good that I've started like early today, so that will allow me to do a bit more. So I'm making progress, but just bear in mind, when you sort of come off to the smaller roads to get to the lighthouse, you're going to be facing so many massive potholes along the way. I don't know if you can see them, like literally probably like 1/4 of your alloys would be sinking in that pothole if you don't dodge them. Yeah, it's and if you read Google reviews about the lighthouse, everybody would talk about them, and I didn't think they were that bad, but they are really, really big, and there's so many of them, so you need to keep an eye on them and just dodge them. is a bit of a walk that I need to do to get to the lighthouse, but this is the view where I parked. Very nice. There are people already here, even though it's quite early. Beautiful. So I'm going now to a viewpoint to have better views of the cliffs and the ocean. I mean, I can see nice views already, but apparently if you keep walking for 20 minutes along this path, you get nicer views. Lots of steps. You can see the path there. Goes all the way to the top. So we are continuing to walk. It does get a bit steepier along the way, but you get nice view as you walk. As you can see here, it's not too crowded now, which is nice. We are nearly at the lighthouse, but I think it's closed to the public, so we can't get in. Look at these incredible views. So this is the North Atlantic Ocean. Absolutely incredible. So now I'm heading to the hike place, which I think is pronounced as Quiraing or Quiraing or Quiraing. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure I butchered the name, so I'll leave it as a caption instead. It's about an hour and a half from the lighthouse, maybe less than that actually. So probably less than an hour and a half, and less than an hour and a half, but it's a bit on the top of a mountain, so and the roads, as you can see here, are quite tight, single track with passing zones. So yeah, I think that is one of the reasons why the journey is a bit prolonged. I've arrived. It's actually pretty busy, very busy, way busier than I expected it to be. I think when I read online it's about 2 hours for the hike. I don't see any public toilets here, which is a bit of a shame. So these are the view. I'm halfway through now. There's more to go. It ends there, I think. I'm at the final stretch now, and then we'll start the descent, which should be easier actually. I think I took the hardest route. The beginning was quite steep, but apparently it makes a loop, and the other starting point is a lot easier to climb. I nearly made it. Made it. So this is the trail to come down, and while it's not as slopey as the path I took when I went up, this is right next to the edge, and it's quite slippery, so I think this is worse. At least the one I took ascending was not very hard. It was difficult because you get tired, but with this one, if you slip you die. Look at these views. Wow. Why am I doing this to myself? So I'm going back to the hostel now. It's almost 4 p.m. I'm really exhausted. I mean, that hike was hard. Yeah, it was hard. It was not easy. And I think so. Once you start the hike, there are 2 trails. You can start one from the left side, which I did. So that one is, the trail is quite easy and well pathed in the beginning, but then it sort of disappears and you just need to figure out your own way. But it was exhausting physically, but it felt safe. The other trail on the right side, which you're going to walk through, because if you want to make a loop you would have to go through it. You don't have to make a loop, but if you want to have the full view you would make that loop. The way back is, or that part of the trail is physically easy, but it's a bit scary. There's so many slippery areas and some areas are quite steep, so it was a bit hard, but managed to survive it. But actually the views were well worth it, so I highly recommend going to that place, definitely. So this is always the case. The day I'm planning to leave, it's all clear and all the clouds are disappearing. But yeah, we'll have a nice ride back to Newcastle today. Just one stop at the castle and then head to Newcastle. So I stopped at this famous bridge, and it looks quite mystical. The weather very nice, and the clouds are basically flying into this area, which adds another layer to the beauty of it. I'll go closer to the bridge and take close-up videos there. Look at this. Very nice. this is the famous castle in Isle of Skye.